Hey, look over there. That's a portrait of Marie Antoinette's sister, Maria Louisa, Queen of Austria. I don't know her personally, but I know that she doesn't like her husband because she commissioned this painting, and there's an empty seat right next to her. Her husband, which is featured in the portrait behind her, they're both looking in different directions, and she's covering her ring finger. But she likes music and she likes dressing up. Look at the guy next to her, below her. It's her brother-in-law. He got married when he was 14 to Marie Antoinette. And because they were so young, they didn't know how to reproduce. So it took them over 7 years to have their first child. And this was a huge cause for celebration. So in that cabinet over there, we have a plate from the Sèvres porcelain factory that was commissioned for their first, in honor of their first child. Can you guess which one it is? That belonged to Marie Antoinette and King Louis XIV. So Dauphine in French means prince. It's the plate with the little dolphins on it, or their interpretation of a dolphin. It looked a little bit like a dragon, but yeah. Okay, so look back over there. Of course, that can only be Marie Antoinette herself. So in around 1783, the man who took over Sèvres after the French Revolution, he ordered the destruction of all of the royal molds of porcelain that they had there. So one day, 7 workers in the factory spent an entire day destroying of aristocratic and royal patterns. So all of those are gone. We don't have those pieces just because of, I mean, I bet it felt good to destroy like the wealth of other people. But funnily enough, like the commoners, they still wanted to commemorate the revolution, of course, with a piece of porcelain, a luxury item. And so this little teacup and saucer on the far left corner of the case, this is a piece of porcelain that was made after the revolution. The pattern, poppies grow in disturbed or plowed land, like they can grow in disturbed places. And the blue forget-me-nots are like obviously a message saying like, hey, you don't forget this, what happened here. The gold symbol, the gold ring around the triangle and the hat, that symbolizes truth, and the hat symbolizes workers. And I think the triangle, I can't remember what the triangle writes. Okay, now notice how there's one more bust. A woman named Madame du Barry, and she was King Louis XV's last official mistress. She is staring at the plate of Louis XV's rival. This plate can only belong to someone charismatic and intelligent enough to overthrow her husband. Do we have any guesses as to who that is? To Catherine the Great, it lived in her winter palace. So rumor has it, the only reason we have this plate is because there was a fire in the winter palace and someone stole this plate and protected it, and it bounced around from art dealer to art dealer until we got this piece, and it's from Catherine the Great. She overthrew her husband in June 1762. So she used art in order to like legitimize herself and modernize Russia. One of the things she did was she erected this statue of Peter the Great, and she dedicated the plaque. It said to Peter the First from Catherine the Second, and so she's linking their names together so that everyone reads it, and like they're just like associating greatness between the two of them. That's so cool. And also the man she commissioned the man that made the statue of Peter the Great, was a man that worked at the Sèvres porcelain factory. They had a lot of like sculptors and artists that worked there at the factory because they need to paint stuff by hand. So this was a man. His last name was Falconet, and he just made this statue. And yeah, how freaking cool is that?